commanding lead, but there's plenty of work that can be done, and away we go. Oregon State, and again, chances for both these squads. And Duhm out of Lookout Mountain, Georgia McCallie School, and Bob Coleman out of Oregon State, Hermiston High School in Hermiston, Oregon. There is Judah. Won dual matches at Brown and ASU last year. McCallie School, by the way, where he went to schools across the border in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And of course, Coleman, 15 and 14 overall this year. So neither one of these wrestlers have had dominating seasons, but Jim Zaleski hoping that maybe Coleman's the right answer for him right now.
Well, they need it. I tell you, if Stanford wins this one, it could really pull them, separate them from the team title. So this is a big one. This is a toss-up match, too. This could be a good bout. Kind of a mix of styles. Coleman's kind of stocky, likes the high single. Stanford's kind of lanky and funky.
Stanford earning more points too. Rico Stormer, a great story, winning that third place match at 174, the transfer from Harvard. Just found a way to add on when they could and add on big.
One of Coleman's go-to shots is a snatch single to his left side. You see he's circling to the right. Just trying to get Stanford to kind of step up with that leg so he can reach for it. So let's see if he can set that up.
Yeah, it's like I think over 80% of his takedowns this year are that high single to that right leg. Now, of course, everybody leads with that. Not everybody, but the majority of the opponents lead with that right foot.
Right idea, Judah. Right idea. Hands down from Wilson.
Oh, he went to the other side then? He's diversified. So Coleman's a good example. I mean, he's not a world-class athlete. He's a solid, strong, tough, hard-nosed guy, and he's really got good position. He's not scared to get his forehead in there on a high single.
You just got to keep that up. He's made a couple attempts here. Just keep that pace going. You see, Judah's not really making any attempts on his own of taking some shots or setting it up. He's just trying to be defensive, keeping those hands low. So if Coleman keep that pace up, force some stall calls, that'll force Stanford to open up a little bit more.
Coleman a little bit below 500 in his career with 40 victories, 46 defeats. Hasn't been pinned this year. He's a great football player, linebacker, defensive end in high school. So many of these great wrestlers played multiple sports, whether they ran or whether they played football or rugby in high school.
I love and appreciate your research. You're like the encyclopedia. What high school is Duhm out of?
Duhm is out of McCallie School. That's in Tennessee, just across the Georgia-Tennessee line. He's from Lookout Mountain, Georgia, but went to school at a prep school.
Okay, that's it. You said it. So Coleman's the football stud.
Coleman's the big football stud. Yep. Played multiple positions all over the field. What are your thoughts? Wrestling, it's in your blood. You love it. Does it benefit you to play other sports if you have the time?
I would say you want to.
In my opinion, I think just playing other sports, it does benefit you. Just kind of get your body acclimated to different just body positions, balance, teaches you different things, different explosive muscles that you're not used to using. So I think it's nice to be well-rounded, and it's also nice to sometimes you need to take a break from one sport. You know, just kind of refresh your mind and get the passion back.
The old burnout factor that you could have.
Exactly, keep it fun.
Coach?
I would say definitely for young people, you should diversify and play a lot of different sports. Too many wrestlers are trying to specialize when they're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Crazy parents. That's not the answer. You can wrestle 9, 10 months out of the year, but you should be trying other sports and do different things. I think the individual athlete, when they get to middle school, if they want to specialize and there's their choice, amen, they can do it, but they shouldn't be pressured to do it. Same for high school. I do think if you want to be great at wrestling, there is so much specialization. I know living in State College and seeing all these outstanding Penn State wrestlers come through, most of the best guys that they're recruiting have been great, dedicated kids since they're little and specialized at young ages. So, but they're the exception. They're that 1/10 of 1%. So in general, I think you want to stay diverse. When you're ready to specialize, you choose to specialize. I don't know. I spent my day I spent yesterday today at the Terminator tournament in Prescott, Arizona. It's the Rocky Mountain Nationals sponsored Terminator tournament. There's all these young wrestlers there, and they want to keep it fun. They make that tournament fun. I really like the Armament events because they make them fun. They keep it interesting for those kids. You know, those kids might go play baseball tomorrow, but on that day, on this weekend, they were spoiled with a really exciting tournament in the same arena. They have the Arizona State High School Championships at the Toyota Center up there in Prescott. It was a pretty cool event. So I think we want to keep wrestling fun and exciting and be creative and not just make it same old, same old.
Well, it lends itself to being successful in other sports, too. The mental toughness, the determination, the building of the balance in the core, much like on the female side, gymnastics lends itself, it's not a physical sport, but to being well-rounded because you're strong in your center. You're strong, you understand your body.
Well, you're preaching there on that topic. I didn't want to dig too much into the specialization part, but I definitely agree wrestling makes you better in other sports. Wrestling makes you a better football player. Football coaches across Pac-12 country, these high school football coaches need to embrace getting their athletes to wrestle. It truly makes you a better football player.
It's all right, you can hop on a soapbox. We're fine, we'll join you. Both of you guys have the resume to do so. Meantime, Coleman and Duhm are grinding it out.
We picked a decent match to chat it up a little bit because we're looking at 2-0, and I'm not sure Coleman got an escape. What was the second point from?
I believe it was an escape. There was no takedown. 2 escapes. I believe 2 escapes for Coleman. And we're going to the third now, and you think about it. 6 points separating Stanford and ASU, 9 points separating Stanford and Oregon State, and you have just a 2-0 score. I mean, this is huge, these last 2 minutes.
It is. So although the match in and of itself is, we're not seeing a lot of explosive technique, we are seeing it come down to the wire, come down to the third period, between Stanford, who's in first place. So this would be huge for Stanford. I mean, if the wrestler who has not wrestled much this year, Judah Duhm, who's 4-0, potentially could clinch the team title. I haven't done my math, but right now Stanford's at Arizona State by 6 points. That's the equal of a match in the finals victory.
Definitely needs to get active now. So there's been a lot of hand fighting throughout this match. Both guys working up top, collar ties, but there's really no shot attempts going here. So one of these guys has to pull that trigger, really commit to something.
Trying to stay in the mat. Duhm balancing on that foot. Now Duhm goes down.
Yeah, he tried to funk him. That was almost a quick 2. I'd have to see it again. Maybe there was a split second. And the Stanford
They agree with you.
They must have heard me. Okay, so Coach Blake, the assistant coach, he's a really bright guy. He's the associate head coach now. He is saying that there was no 2, and he's telling. So those. All right, so there's the single. He comes up. It was sloppy on the finish. It wasn't real clean. So Stanford goes to Funk. He's going to dive under. That wasn't very clean either. He gets caught. Now here, is there a takedown? Here. It's a close call. I wouldn't have called it. But I
agree with you. I wouldn't have called that. I don't think it was a takedown, but I was just going to say nice job there by Coleman coming down with Judah. They're just fighting through that position, and it's close. He does cover up the waist there.
And it almost came off Judah's funk. It's almost like you want to give him at least a split second. So that's why I wouldn't have called it. I would have let it see the funk. Coleman didn't do a very good job of finishing clean once he stopped. Once he stopped the funk, which he did really well, he didn't show a clean finish. So Stanford has a good argument. Stanford being private school, highly respected academic school, in the hunt for this team title, it just reminds me to remind you young wrestlers at home to be a scholar athlete, not a dumb jock. During the preview to the tournament today, we honored the academic scholars. Paul Fox from Stanford at 157 was Pac-12 academic wrestler of the year. And obviously Stanford and all the Pac-12 schools are very serious academic schools looking for serious, dedicated student athletes.
Trying to go right back to work. Meantime, a good one for third place. Duhm, Ducharme, and Jason Peterson. And extra time now, tied at 2. I'll let you know what happens over there.
Nice mat return there by Coleman.
Pretty excited for Coleman. He's a good old country boy, tough, hard-nosed guy. And if he can defend himself here for 24 seconds, he's going to be a Pac-12 champion. So we know he's got a high signal, but what kind of defense does he got? We're going to find out here these next 15 seconds.
At 10 seconds now. Looking for big points for Oregon State. Coleman hanging in there. 2, 1. Coleman.
That's exciting. Big win. Coach Zaleski's proud of him. Ian Miller, the assistant coach, is fired up. Huge win for Oregon State. And over on Matt, what a great one, boy. Jimmy Zaleski, he's proud of that man. So he's not one of his top 4 wrestlers, but he's a Pac-12 champion. Proud of him. Coach and staff, little celebration there. Good stuff. That makes all the hard work worthwhile. Willett's getting in on the hug. There you go. They're loving it. Boy, it's a big win for Oregon State.
Coleman with the win. And by the way, Duhm, Ducharme with the win for Bakersfield, taking out Jason Peterson. So that's points that ASU could have gotten. Ronnie Bresser celebrating Sean Nickel at 133 from Bakersfield. Some moments so far tonight, no doubt about it. Carlos Herrera, and then up top, Grant Willits. Herrera getting a third place trophy as well. Requer Vandermeer, South American born, grew up in New Jersey. Christian Pagdalao, Pac-12 champion at 157. And then at 165, a victory that time for Josh Shields. And another one at